Hey guys, it's James here with Kickstarter Boardgame Spotlight, and we are here with Gray Fox Games and Josh. He's going to show us this cool new game called London Dread. Josh, tell us a little bit about your game.
London Dread is a cooperative game. It's got a Victorian horror setting.
Awesome.
So each player is an investigator with a backstory and some sort of traumatic event that has drawn them into this world of London Dread. And so each game of London Dread is a story where the players have a known antagonist and then an unknown series of events along the way that they must confront on their way to take down that antagonist.
Okay, all right. So first thing that stood out to me when I saw the game was the clock. So tell me a little bit about the clock.
Yeah, so the game has two phases. As I mentioned, each scenario is a story, and a story has a number of chapters. And so when you play through these chapters, your characters use this action clock to program where they're going to be at particular time. So it's kind of this Arkham Horror meets Space Alert, if you can imagine something like that, right?
Okay.
We've got this time pressure and they've got this clock, and as time is ticking by in real time, they're programming their actions. At 2 a.m., we should meet here in order to encounter this particular threat. We're going to dig up a grave and look for evidence, right? And at this particular point, program where they're going to be at particular times in real time, right? At 2 in the morning, some of us are going to meet to dig up this grave. At 4 a.m., we're going to go to this residence where we have a tip and investigate a crime scene. At 6 a.m. and so on. So each character has their own strengths, their own attributes that they can bring, and based on the particular challenge, you want certain guys there. If it's a combat challenge, maybe you bring the German soldier, but he needs backup. Do you take the nun? Do you take the starlet? There's an aristocrat, and you got to work together to program when players are setting their actions in this clock to meet at locations simultaneously in order to accomplish.
So it sounds pretty interactive as far as like the planning phase.
Yeah, the planning phase it's very interactive and it's highly cooperative. It's the game as it unfolds becomes something of a massive puzzle, which with each player able to solve certain aspects of it.
Okay.
So they need to work together and communicate where they're going to be and when and their strengths in order to effectively break this puzzle down and solve it.
Okay, awesome. And so what would be like a win condition there? So obviously, is there like an end boss or? Yeah,
every story has an antagonist, and that antagonist is the end boss. So the introductory scenario, players get a tip, an anonymous letter, to start tracking down this criminal mastermind.
Yes. All right, so let's talk about for a second the three stories that come with the base game. I mean, as far as that's right, it's a three-story situation.
Yep. Okay, so it's 4 stories.
Okay,
the base game comes with 4 stories, 3 complete stories and 1 introductory scenario. And so each scenario has its own antagonist.
Okay.
And the first one is a Pagan Ritual, because the players get this tip to hunt down a crime boss, and as through the course of their investigation they discover he's into this blend of science and magic, and when they uncover it they determine, well, we're going to perform the ritual and see what this is all about.
Okay.
So that is your first challenge, to uncover this ritual and then successfully perform it. If you do so well, you catch a glimpse of the future and you learn something.
Okay.
If you fail to do so well, your minds shatter and you go mad.
That's probably where I'd end up. So as people on the channel know, I'm a huge Sherlock fan, and so anything with this type of atmosphere and theme, I'm like sucked right in. So as soon as I came in here on Wednesday, I saw it laid down on the table. I was like, I'm hunting these guys down. I'm going to find out about this game.
Yeah,
so.
we also love the time period and we like the era, and it's certainly influenced by things like Arthur Conan Doyle and also H.P. Lovecraft.
Absolutely,
so this background plays a lot in. The game is highly thematic. There's flavor text on everything. Your plot events have mechanics, but they also have storylines that help you get immersed in the story.
Right.
These are actual stories. It's not.
You guys are doing an app too, right?
Yep, there'll be a companion app with voiceover artists to run through the story overview, the flavor text, and really put together this world for you. And as you play the game, you will find out more and more about the story. Unlike something like Time Stories, the stories are replayable. The stories won't be spoiled for you, so you could just read them all if you were interested and still play them with surprising plot twists and events as you go.
Awesome. So, and pre-release is at GenCon, and then it'll be released at what point after that?
We're doing a limited release at GenCon, and the actual retail release will be probably early September.
Early September.
Yep.
All right, guys. So this is one you're going to want to check out. Josh, thanks, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man.